Cousins on first down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Tackle made there by Zach Brown. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. 23 yards on the play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Cook. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They'll run with Cook. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And now it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Let's go.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Cameron and Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. A give. This is Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Past Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dez Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And it's up and good. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw, Bridgewater. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Play action now. Bridgewater. And Ginn's got it. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Going deep for Diggs. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got Will Tide complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 17. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He completes it to Bryant. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Go.
They'll run here with Ingram. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins now to throw on first down. Flushed out right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit!
Handoff comes to Cook, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now it's the backup Simeon. And Robinson with a big catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Simeon on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Simeon now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Room past the 20. And all the way up to the 21-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Wide open receiver complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 15 yards through the air on a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A minute 59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Bridgewater now on second down. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So that one will be accepted. The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Looking for Gannon. It's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson-Dejo. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
To throw on second is Simeon. Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, here's Simeon. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Aldrick Robinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Bailey got the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Nifty move. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Bryant with a catch right side. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this 1st half. A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Bridgewater. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
The way he's been slinging it in the 1st half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown. But I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. 2nd down, Bridgewater. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. To the air again with Bridgewater. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Simeon going deep for Diggs. And got his man complete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. On the ground, this is Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Gotta go.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Here's Sherrills. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney!
On 1st down, Simeon. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Simeon again. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead going to an opposite color jersey.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. He got 29 yards that time.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Left side caught by Diggs. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Simeon now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
Out of the gun, Simeon. And that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Simeon on 2nd down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The defensive rookie of the year, Marshawn Lattimore, there in coverage for New Orleans.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon lets it fly for Treadwell. That's caught at the 25. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the 1st down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. On 2nd and 10, Simeon. Now Simeon stripped. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
3rd and long. It's Simeon. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Saints coming out now to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. A 10th carry for Kamara. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater to throw it. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. After the interception, here's Simeon. Flush to his right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. Escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Desperation time for Simeon on 4th. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, Don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Here's Simeon now on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And now running right through it. And still fighting. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And this one through the uprights and good. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. On the crossing route, complete. It's Bryant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
Hurry up.
Running with Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Go.
Bridgewater to throw it this time. And his throw is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
He'll rifle this one deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 42 yards. Now a first down throw. Simeon lets it fly for Treadwell. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He'll rifle this one deep right, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there out of Kamara. 51 yards on the ground. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Bryant with a catch right side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. This is Ingram on first and 10. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
And Cook has it left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The busy night continues for Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for New Orleans, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.